That noise is a bit worrying. Oh crap, and tell the garage that I can't do it. It's a bit dirty, needs a bit of a clean. Bullet holes all over the roof and the bonnet. Okay, look at the dirt inside the speaker. Hi, Richard here again. How difficult can it be to find and buy a car in Germany for around about €5,000? Well, the answer is very difficult. Watch the rest of this video and I'll give you some information on what I found for this price range. And you might be surprised on the absolute rubbish that's out there that people are selling. But I have found a vehicle that I'm very happy with so far. I bought it today. It's sitting here and I'll reveal it shortly. And go into some details on what I've actually bought. And then over the next few months, 6 months, I will do some reviews on this vehicle and give you some feedback. But yeah, the Honda is still sitting over there. The engine and gearbox is fine. The interior is immaculate. The only problem is there's a bit of rust underneath, and none of the local garages want to touch it. So I'll probably end up scrapping that. But that's been a brilliant car for 8 years. It only cost me £1,900 8 years ago, and yeah, it never lets me down. So that's why I've kept hold of it. It's brilliant. So this is the new member of the family. It will replace the Honda, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll go into some details on what it is shortly, and yeah, have a walk round towards the end of the video. Cars are incredibly expensive here for the second-hand market. It's as if they've sold all those second-hand cars or scrapped them, which has inflated the second-hand car market. And the vehicles that are still around are incredibly expensive, and yeah, the quality isn't particularly good, ranging from hailstone damage to rusty wheel arches, to damaged steering, noisy engines. Watch this video and I'll go into some details of what I found over the last few months. I did actually go and see a Kia Ceed. It was a right mess. It had bad paintwork. The plastic was bleached by the sun. There was a horrible knocking sound on the steering that sounded like one of the inside the steering column, one of the bushers was on its way out, so there was a lot of movement. I pointed it out to the dealer and he said, no, everything's fine. And I showed him and he said, look, it's fine. He was swinging the steering wheel backwards and forwards to try and cover up the fact that there was this sound. So I did it, and I could get it to thump every time I just moved it a little bit. There was play in the steering, and that would not pass an MOT or a TUV. So that was a no-go. I walked away. Also, the engine sounded horrible. Listen to this. Something wrong with the interior is quite nice. Smells of dog. This is broke, but that's not a major problem. Gear knob's alright. That noise is a bit worrying. Engine seems okay. Steel wheels are ugly, but anyway.
While you're getting your car washed, why not get your dog washed at the same time? Dog wash. Love your dog.
Okay, this is a Hyundai iX35, I think. Quite a large vehicle, plenty of space, pretty comfortable, and yeah, it has a tow bar as well. Not that I would use it. This was fairly close to, yeah, iX35. Heated seats, cruise control. It was manual though, but the engine was incredibly loud. It sounded like I don't know, there's knocking. The gear change in the clutch was quite heavy. I think it was close to needing a new clutch. It was very high. Not particularly nice to drive, I must admit, but I was quite impressed actually. It was better than I thought it was going to be. It was a nice looking car, a few marks, but yeah, nothing, no major damage. It's just the engine and the driving experience was pretty bad. So
okay, motor house. Okay, so we have cruise control, manual, climate control, heated seats. Yeah. Okay, I'm having a quick look, taking a test drive. There's a Mitsubishi Outlander. They've polished it nicely. There's a bit of paint, a bit of polish in the grooves, which fine. Looks like there was a strip down. Oh no, there is a strip there. Okay, and it's covering some rust. So that's probably preventing the rust coming quicker. Okay, I can ignore that. Here, look at this. All this rust here. And the seat trims here, it seems very tatty. Now that was mentioned to me, but the steering wheel wasn't. Look at the steering wheel. It is very, very worn out. I didn't know about that. Excuse me. That's not very pleasant. And the door, I don't know if you can see it. It has about 4mm play on it. So when you shut the door, and when you open it, it drops. That's not great. In the back, smells of dog and dirt. It's definitely had dog in here. I mean, the seats aren't in bad condition in the back. It's just dirty, although they've cleaned it. Whoever had it before didn't clean it. So, where's the thing here? Dampers are on the edge. There's a bit of rust under there, look, near the switch. That needs tidying up. Okay, look at the dirt inside the speaker. This car's not been cared for, I don't think. It does have 7 seats, although that's not why I'm looking at this vehicle. How do you get these down? Like that. You press the switch. Oh. Just press the switch. Lower that. How does this work then? I'll just leave it like that. It does have a parcel shelf, and I don't know, they don't look like the original screws somehow. It's probably upside down. Don't know. Open the boot. Scratched, but I can live with that. That seems to function. Cables seem alright. It's not as stiff as some I've seen. It's got broken rubber. It smells of dog again. The wheels are okay. Plenty of grip. Now the lights, they obviously were cloudy, and they've buffed them and they've lacquered them. Now I could get away with that, but it looks like the bumper's been sprayed. It's not been fitted properly here, look. I've seen that on a couple of them now. It looks like the bumper's been off. That looks, I don't know. I can't tell if that's been off or not. It looks like it. It's obviously new number plates. But, I mean, at a glance, it looks very nice. They've polished it. But just inside, it stinks. And it's a bit of a harsh ride as well. It's not very comfortable compared to the Honda. The mats are the original mats, I think. So that's good. The door hang, so you've got the door squeak, the door drop, you've got this. It feels like it's done over 100,000 kilometres. My Honda's immaculate, and it's done 220,000, and it's in better condition than this. Oh dear. What am I going to do? I've paid a deposit. I'm going to have to ask for it back because I can't do this. Or can I? I mean, it's £5,000. It's not so dirty here. The roof is in good condition. I mean, there are good points and bad points about it. The question is, can I... The history's good. Hold on, I'm trying to get... Look at this, the buttons are worn out for cruise control. It's like, it hasn't done any 69,000 miles. He must have done it with sand on his hands or something. Flat works. Usually this is very sticky. That's not too bad. 2 glove box, I believe. There's one here. That blows cold air into here from the aircon, chills it a little. We've got a book, wheel locking nut. Let's have a look at is this the service book? No, that's the radio. Oh God, my heart's not in this already. It's got... Let's try the heated seat in a minute. Do we have a service book? That's the owner's manual. I guess... No, there's no service information in there. That's all to do with the radio. The service information. Crap, look at that. He's had something on there that's damaged the plastic. What's this? What's this here? Let me get my glasses. Ah, that's just cracking. Yeah, it's just cracking here. I thought it was some kind of writing, but it isn't. So I've just driven it in 4-wheel drive. I guess the next test will be to put it in lock and see if it changes on the back dash. Let me get the key. Okay, so it's in park. Foot on the brake. This is a very tight car. Look at it, everything's worn out. The writing on here. What the hell did he have on his hands? So there's a little button down here. I think that's for the wing mirrors. If you press that, they both go in, okay? And they both go out, that's good. It looks like he has been a smoker. Look at his stains along here. And he's got this thing here. That usually means the window's been opened slightly. Yeah, I mean, they have cleaned the roof, I think. That's dirty, but they've cleaned it. But it's still inside. Let's have a look at the radio. Oh, yeah, let's change gear first. So we've got it on 4-wheel lock. Let's see if I can zoom in there, look. That's 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, lock. Okay, it's done 69,000 miles, and all the MOTs indicate that. Dirty in there. This has been in a very dusty place. That's all I can really say. I'm not impressed. I'm really not. I'm actually slightly disappointed. Especially with the steering wheel because look at that. This guy's been a builder or something. That's not good. How the hell do you get that off? That's not coming off easily. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh crap. Alright, let's get back and tell the garage that I can't do it. Okay, what we got here then? Skoda 5000. Bodywork looks kind of clean. A bit of rust down there. A bit of a boot. Okay, I've just been to see another car. It's a Skoda Roomster, bit of a boring looking thing. I was actually surprised how spacious it is inside. It looks tiny from the outside, but inside the cockpit is pretty comfortable. It's a bit dirty, needs a bit of a clean, but everything seems to work. The windows, the boot lid seems to need 2 or 3 attempts to close. I don't think that's a big deal though. The left speaker is not working on the driver's side, which could be a little bit irritating. Generally the body's in good condition. The ride is a bit hard. I took it for a ride. It's got a 1600, a 1.6 litre engine in it. It feels a bit lumpy. It's okay. I just think it's a little bit tired. I mean, it's had an oil change recently. I've looked through the service records. It appears to have a regular service. Yeah, recently it's had new brake pads all round. It's got brand new wheels. The guys changed the oil, the air filter, the pollen filter. Yeah, so I think it's an option. It's just a bit dirty. So the parcel shelf has a hinge point. So there's like a pip that sticks out left and right and grips the side of the vehicle. That seems to have, one of them's been broke off. So I don't know. I mean, at 4,999, 5,000, but I liked it. I was actually surprised. I like it. Just needs a damn good clean. I like the colour. Oh, and also it had a huge roof deck, which is quite nice to have. A lot of light coming in. Yeah, more room than I anticipated, actually. I would look at this car again. Okay, the first website that I tend to go to is Auto Scout 24. Let's go down to the ones. This was on one of my lists to go and see, but it has high kilometers, high mileage, and also, yeah, it's a fairly old vehicle, 2006. It was on the list, but it wasn't at the top of my list. Another vehicle that I was interested in was this. This is a Audi A4, 5,200 euros, reasonable miles, kilometers for the age. Never let the guy down. It says it's here available, but it isn't. I tried to go and see it, but it was sold within a day. And further down the list, now this is one I was interested in but never went to see. Now there's 3 models here that are very similar. We've got the Mitsubishi Outlander, the Citroen C-Crosser, and this, the Peugeot 4007. They're all the same chassis. They're all made in Japan, but the front end has customization related to the brand. So with, for example, Peugeot and Citroen. So I was interested in this. Here's the C-Crosser look. Let's have a look at this. Now I like this car in principle. You see it has the Citroen front end. The lights are slightly different than the Peugeot and the Mitsubishi, but the window shape, the general shape of the vehicle
is the same. It has a split tailgate, so you have this part that folds down flat, so you can sit on it like a Range Rover, if you like. But and then this hatch lifts. It has 7 seats, so I thought this looks a very nice vehicle. Look on the door here. It has like a silver paint over plastic, and this plastic wears away very easily. Poor quality. And here, look at the seats. It looks like somebody's been smoking and they've burnt the leather, which is a bit strange. I mean, maybe it's not burnt, maybe it's just something else, but it looks damaged in any case. And you've got, again, the silver paint on the door handles in the rear. That's the driver's door, I think. And on the dashboard, the Japanese cars seem to have this plastic dashboard with a thin coat of rubber on top, and it seems to get damaged either by cleaning solutions or simply by the temperature of this. When it's too hot in the sun, it becomes very soft and becomes supple and damages and peels. I've seen that quite a lot. It looks a mess. So I thought maybe there's something I could have done with this for this price, $5,999. I thought maybe I can work with that. But it's a long way. It's in a place called Worms, which is near Heidelberg, in the direction of Heidelberg, 3 hours away. Too far, so I didn't go and see it. But I like the look of it. Nice looking vehicle. Okay, let's go back and let's have a look at, let's see if there's any other vehicles here. I was interested in looking at this. It's fairly cheap. It has high miles or kilometers, and after doing some reading, the gearboxes normally have issues around about 160,000 kilometers or 100,000 miles, and I've not seen in the description here any remark related to gearbox. And also it looks a bit tatty, so I didn't go and see it. This Volvo's quite nice, but again it's out of my bracket. Let's scroll down. This one here, I went to see this Mitsubishi Outlander. It's a 2.4 4-wheel drive and a 2-wheel drive. You can switch between. It has a CVT gearbox, which is as you put your foot down, the engine kind of remains at the same revs, but you start to accelerate. And these are generally not as reliable as some other automatic gearboxes, although they're very smooth and economic. But when I went to see it, this rear quarter of the vehicle was damaged at the back, and it required work on the rear wing, and the bumper was caved in. And I thought, no, this is not worth it. You got this price plus that damage, and it was dirty inside, not very pleasant. I thought this was quite a good buy. It's got 65,000 kilometers, only 4,000 euros. It's a Honda. It has a good engine in here. I just couldn't see myself sitting around driving in a car from 92, although I would. I think these are great cars. 2-litre engine with 65,000. I think it's fantastic. Brilliant engine. Let's see what else there is. I quite liked the R500, but unfortunately this one has a lot of issues and it has high mileage. So I decided not to go and view it. Let's move to another website called mobile.de. I have some vehicles in here that I also saved. That was on the list, but I never got round to seeing it. Okay, let's go down the list. Right, this one I was quite interested in, but it was a little bit out of my range, so I didn't go to look at it. But it's sold in a couple of days. This Volvo here looks very nice. I believe this is also sold as well. That was quite nice. Petrol, 140 PS. This was another one I wanted to go and look at. I don't like the colour, but I like the car. 3.5 litre petrol, automatic, 5,000. I was very interested to go and see this, but the guy had so many people interested, I couldn't get in quick enough, and it was sold immediately. Okay, this one here is a Ford S-Max. I did communicate with the owner of this vehicle. It looks very clean. I'll bring up some photos of this in a moment, but I decided not to go for it in the end. Okay, this is one I was really interested in. I'll bring that up in a second. As you see, I was also considering Kia. This was a lovely vehicle. I went to go and have a look at this, but it was sold. But the miles, the kilometers is too high for me. I don't want to go into that category. I mean, my Honda is already 250,000 kilometers. But that's a Honda. The Mitsubishi four-wheel drive are not as reliable. So I delayed looking at it, and for good reason, I think. This is a nice vehicle here. This is a Jaguar XJ6. It has high kilometers again. It looks like it's fairly well looked after. It's owned by an enthusiast for Jaguar. It's supposed to be in very good condition, but again, if you've only got a budget of 5,000, you don't have a lot spare for, let's say, maintenance. That's more of a project car, not as a daily driver. This one here, I went to go and see a garage just on the west side of Cologne. It was in terrible condition. The bodywork was scratched, the seats were ripped, the inside was filthy. I went to see it and I thought, well, it's a decent price, 5,200, but it wasn't worth it. It's got high kilometers and inside everything's worn out. Such a pity. Yep, and I think I mentioned that one already. It's the C-Crosser. It's the same chassis as the Mitsubishi Outlander. It's exactly the same. They just have a different front, different lights, but the interior is more or less the same. Let's look at this website. So this is a website here, Small Ads. Okay, and I thought, we've got a Saab 2-litre turbo. It has an MOT, or a TÜV, as they say here in Germany. 3,890. I thought that's quite low. It's worth seeing. So I arranged with the guy to go and see it. I was hoping it would be the one. It's very nice inside. Let's see if we can open there we go. Looks very nice inside. It's got a nice sat nav and air conditioning and cruise control. Leather seats are in good condition. And I thought, why is this guy taking photos in the night? A bit odd. Same here. Yeah, a little bit confusing. Inside was fairly clean. Nice seats. Nice steering wheel. Automatic. And then we get to the interesting photos. Red is not my favourite colour, but anyway, the car's decent, so I thought. Now let's zoom in here. Look at this roof. That's not the clouds. It's been in massive hailstorm in Austria, apparently. It has at least 200, 300 bullet holes all over the roof and the bonnet. You can even see a bit of damage here.
Oh, now look at this. Look at this bonnet here. There. It's everywhere. The whole roof. I would not be surprised that it needed a new windscreen as well. The whole bonnet is completely ruined. It is a real mess. Look at all the dints everywhere. That's a better shot. Look. Extremely damaged. And you can even see there's a bit of damage here on the bumper, on the tailgate. But it's a shame because the car itself it drives well. It pulls pretty fast. Cruises nice. But not to be. Okay, the first car I actually went to see was this one. And I thought, this might be an option. It's the Seat Altia XL. I thought this looks like a fairly clean car. Looks quite nice there. Nothing fancy, but practical. And then when I actually went to go and see it, the seats were a bit tired. You could not open the door from the outside. There's something wrong with the door locking mechanism on this door, on the passenger's door. The engine sounded a bit lumpy. I mean, the photos are quite nice there. It looks quite clean, but it wasn't really as clean as this. And it sounded like the exhaust was blowing as well. I think there's some ripped gear gating here. Yeah, it did not sound particularly good. So I walked away from that. And that was a 1.4 TSI, 125 PS. It done 213,000 kilometers, but it didn't feel like it had been looked after. So I walked away. This was one car I was interested in, but it was sold before I could get there. It was fairly close to me. But unfortunately I couldn't get to it. It's got 162,000, so around about 100,000 miles. Yeah, it's in a city about an hour and a half, an hour away. Automatic. So they're a pretty basic looking car, nothing fancy there, but I like the fact they have so much comfort. You have nice leather seats, they have cruise control, automatic. Yeah, comfortable looking car. It has everything you would want. Although this was gone before I could go and see it. Now this was one vehicle I really wanted to go and see. I arranged to see it, but there was two people before me and the first person bought it. I was not surprised. It's a beautiful looking car. It was within my budget, 5,450. It's got an MOT for 2 years, which is normal in Germany. In England, an MOT lasts 1 year. In Germany, the same thing lasts 2 years, but it's a little bit stricter than the UK. Look at the pictures. Nice paintwork. I like the shape of this, although it's very cramped in the back seats. I think you can only get 2 people in there realistically. The leather steering wheel looks okay. It's a manual, unfortunately, because I was looking for an automatic, really preferred, but I would have gone for that because it's a beautiful looking car, good tyres, half leather seats, leather and cloth, I think. It had some service history. Yeah, lovely looking car, but in the end that was gone. For the first person that went to see it, it was gone, so I missed out. I also tried to see this, which I think I may have mentioned on a different website. This is a Ford S-Max. Thought, family car, plenty of space, flexible, relatively comfortable. I thought this could be a good option.
So as you look inside, there's a lot of chrome here, plasticky chrome. I wasn't a big fan of that. Plus it's got a manual gearbox. It does have cruise control. It is very clean. I thought, yeah, that's an option. But then I noticed the guy said it is a non-smoker, but there's a cigarette packet in here. I thought, okay, that's not a good sign. You see, cigarette packet. I don't know if it is I don't know if they smoked in the car, but he said it was non-smoking. Not sure about that. And here I spotted some rust on the bonnet. And also it was manual. So manual and a bit of rust. I decided not to go and see it in the end. And I also went to see this vehicle here. It's a Skoda Yeti 5800. Has its winter wheels on, winter tyres. 161,000 kilometres, about 100,000 miles. Fairly clean inside, with CD player, MP3. It can connect to your phone as well. Has electric windows in the front but not in the back. Fairly practical car there, so that was quite nice. So the next car I want to show you is this one. Now this is a Nissan. This one's fairly close by, that I also went to go and see. It only has 144,000 kilometers, about 88,000 miles. So it's quite low. It was owned by a doctor, one owner. I thought, okay, sounds good. Price is in my bracket. So let's have a look at it. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, very nice actually. It looks good from the photos. Nowhere near as good in reality. It has little marks everywhere. It looks like the bumper's been off. And when I looked under the wheel arches, there was a lot of cable ties holding the bumper on, which I thought was a bit odd. Thought it's not a good sign. A few marks on the door, well hidden by the polish job. Here, the tow bar, it looks like whatever they were towing bumped into the back of this plastic, what do you call it, cowling or plastic under tray of some kind, and it's all cracked and torn, so that looked a bit scruffy. Inside was immaculate. I must admit, it was one of the best cars I've ever sat in for cleanliness. Inside was immaculate. They've polished it quite nice, but just here, look. Now there's inside the wheel arch. Normally there are wheel arch linings, which is plastic or rubber, that protect the inside of the wheel arch from the weather, from all the spray and stones and so on. But it was missing, and also the mud flap was missing, and all here was rusty, where obviously the salt water had been spraying on this for several years and corroded all this area of the bodywork on both sides. And on the other side, it was that bad, there was a hole leading through into the boot. So obviously in the bottom of the boot you would get puddles of salt water during the winter. And all the tyres were out of date. There wasn't one that was in date, because I think for winter tyres it's 6 years. And I think there was one that was just on the limit, but you would need a full set of tyres. They were very, very low as well, so definitely need some tyres on that. Here, that's where the hole was. All this is rust here. This is all rusty metal. Terrible. And there was a few marks on the bodywork. Look inside, look at the leather. Leather seats were pretty nice. automatic, stereo and a cassette player, CD, sat nav, although the screen was, yeah, fairly out of date, but you don't worry about that. Has cruise control here, I think. And this was quite interesting. This is a feature I've never seen before. That, yeah, the seats were very comfortable, but as you close the door, the seats would go to the first memory position or the last memory position, and not only does the seat slide forward automatically, but the pedals come out towards you. So if you set everything up, because this switch here moves the pedals in and out, and as you open the door, the pedals sink into the floor and the seat goes back so you can get out easily. I mean, that's luxury, really. Very nice feature. I mean, I don't know how long it would last before it would have issues, but very nice to see. Interesting. Nice steering wheel, very clean in here. The only one thing I could see inside that was a bit odd was burn marks here, so I'm suspecting at some point he smoked in the vehicle, although I didn't smell anything. Maybe he just had a moment of weakness and smoked in the car and it fell on the floor, but the rest of the car is immaculate. Really nice leather. It looks like nobody sat in this seat. Original mats, don't see that very often. Nice clean dashboard, heated seats, 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive, electric wing mirrors. Yeah, so there you go. Very nice car, but I couldn't warrant the extra cost. It probably cost me, I don't know, 1,000 or more for the rust, plus it needs a whole new set of wheels, so I had another I don't know, 600 on for that. So no, I decided to walk away from that one as well. Okay, finally, to reveal the car I've purchased today to replace the Honda is the Skoda Yeti. Fantastic. It's only a 1.2 turbo, obviously five seats, 5 doors. It has its winter wheels on at the moment with the winter tires, and we have some summer tires that will come with it as well. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing some driving with this, and I'll do some reviews to give you some feedback on what I can see. But so far, it's very good. Let's have a quick look. Here we go. Skoda Yeti 2010 1.2 turbo. It has a set of winter tyres on. Stand back a bit. It's in good condition. Just over 5,000 euros. Good bodywork. Good tyres. We have summer tyres as well. Very nice example. And yeah, very happy with it. So let's have a look inside. So we have quite a large boot space. It's slightly raised because there's a storage platform here. So there's a triangle. The lady kindly left it in there. First aid pack. Which I believe is out of date. I need to replace that, but I have one from the Porsche. These here are fantastic. These are the hooks, so you can take them off and you put them in, push it on, and it doesn't move around. That's a fantastic idea. That there's 2, 1 on each side, 12 volt supply there. Now this is quite interesting. Look at this seat. It has armrest and cup holders. So if we go in to the door, it's nice and clean. Does need a vacuum again. A bit of a wipe down, but I'm really happy with it. So the seats all fold down. You have to press this little lever here, or lift it up in this case. Hold on. Yep, there we go. So you have to manipulate this lever, and then the seats will go down by pulling on this handle here. You can lift the seats up. Cool. And you see they're on a rail here, and here. If I remove the middle seat, this one can move further over to join that seat. So we can remove the middle and then push these two together in the middle, for example. Very, very configurable. And we can remove all of these as well by flicking on the red button. We can literally whip the chair out. There we go. You need 5 pairs of hands, but anyway. Yeah, it's very nice in here. It is manual window. It's not electric in the back, but that's all right. A few marks, but nothing major. This little air vent here is broken, but I don't think it's broken. I think it's just out of sync. I can fix that. But look at it. It's nice condition. It's an automatic, a DSG. I know you have to be careful with these and get them serviced regularly. Get some fresh oil, which I will do. The vehicle's done 162,000 kilometers, which is a little on the high side. But for the price, I think the price quality is it's fair. Leather steering wheel, electric wing mirrors, and front electric windows. The seats are heated. We have an MP3 CD player. I think it's called a swing, but I'm not familiar with that. But yeah, it has everything that I need anyway. Right, can we focus on that? So we've got 162,000. Obviously it tells us when the doors are open. We've got just under half a tank of fuel. Yeah, it's a really nice car. It's got the automatic lights. So when you go into a tunnel, it should switch them on automatically. We have an airbag that can be disabled within here, just over there. So we have a glove box. So what do we have down here? Electric. So the door, central locking here. Automatic, which I've mentioned. Yeah, overall it's a practical car. So I'm going to give it a clean. When I give it a test drive, I will give you some feedback, but this is just the beginning. I have bought a new one of these because when I bought the plates, I purchased this yesterday, this vehicle. So today I managed to get it registered. So I need to fit the plates, but I want to replace these because these are aging, a little bit rusty. But no, the car's in really good condition generally. Very happy with it. It kind of looks like a mini Land Rover. I know it isn't. It's only a 2-wheel drive. Doesn't have the ground clearance, but no, nice. To reveal which car I've eventually purchased, it is an Octavia. What am I talking about? Start again.